Hello, my name is Mariah Barnum, and I would like to discuss with you a research project that I am doing for a leadership class at Nebraska Methodist College. First of all, I'd like to just say that I chose the topic of males in nursing because I thought it'd be a great opportunity to express leadership and gender roles within the nursing field. Two main statistics that I found that helped me narrow down my search was there are 3.5 million registered nurses reported in the 2013 Census Bureau. 9.6 of those are men. So this amounts to approximately 336,000 male nurses in the United States, which doesn't seem like very much when there's 3.5 total registered nurses. Also, the United States has a very diverse population, and so it is very important as healthcare providers for us to be able to accommodate them and to understand them. And the best way we can do that is have a diverse healthcare workforce. Also, I took into some consideration some questions such as, is there a main reason that men are not in nursing? Are men experiencing difficulties in nursing that allows them not to want to pursue that career? Or are there some negative stereotypes of a male nurse or male nursing students? Also, I have a strong interest in maternity nursing, so this is how I chose my topic. So my more specific topic is gender bias in maternity nursing. So when I started this research, I really wanted, my goals were to identify problems and barriers of male nurses and students, especially in the setting of maternity nursing. I also wanted to identify who was involved in the stereotyping or the process of this gender bias. So was it staff? Was it patients? Was it faculty, or was it actual students or nurses? And then I wanted to identify, where did this start? Did it start in nursing school? Did it start when they graduated? Did it start on a specific unit? More or less, where did their struggles begin? And then I wanted to try to find solutions to these barriers. So how can we eliminate gender bias in the nursing healthcare field? Before we get started, I would really like to just address some key terms. Gender bias, according to one of the articles, is generally considered unequal treatment of a person based on his or her gender, and it may occur because of social perceptions and may become institutionalized. This is according to Golden in the first article that I will talk about here shortly. Reverse discrimination was also included in there, which is members of a majority or dominant group experience prejudice from a minority, non-dominant group that has historically been discriminated against, and this was also stated by Golden. The first article I wanted to talk about, the title was Strategies to Overcome Gender Bias in Maternity Nursing. So I really enjoyed reading this article. It talks about the male students' experiences and discrimination that was seen in the maternity nursing field, and just some of the struggles that they have and people they were involved in. And so this very first one I found really interesting. Male students often experience discrimination not primarily from patients, but often from nursing school faculty, clinical instructors, and hospital staff. I found that mind-blowing because honestly, I feel like we're taught very much so to, be aware of our own biases and to be non-judgmental in all aspects: race, religion, ethnicity, gender. And so, continuing on, there was a statement made by AWHONN, the Association of Women's Health, Obstetric and Neonatal Nursing, and it says there is no evidence that female nurses provide superior care over male nurses. And I thought this was super important, and they even addressed that, especially in areas of women's health, in neonatal nursing, in OB. And so that was great that they've made that statement and made it clear that it doesn't matter what gender you are to take care of your patients. In this article, they did a study, and it included 60 nursing students who had recently completed their clinical rotations in maternity hospitals. This was in Egypt, but I really liked it because my other articles are also in the United States, and so it just goes to prove that it's not a isolated problem; it's a worldwide problem. Um, but a lot of these students were had fear or were very nervous because they felt that by caring and touching their patients, that this would be linked to inappropriate sexual behavior, um, or that they were there for the wrong reasons. And then also, um, just they felt like their motives were being questioned based on their gender, even though, like, if it wasn't their gender, if it was their race, it'd be totally inappropriate to question their motives. The second article I'd like to discuss is Promoting Success of Ethnic Minorities and Male Students in Accelerated Entry-Level Master Nursing Program, the SUSTAIN program specifically. I chose this article because they implemented this scholarship, SUSTAIN, which stands for Scholarships for Underrepresented Students in an Accelerated Initial Nursing. And this was done by Cohen, Weeks, and Wicks. Those are the authors of this, done in 2015. But they developed this program, this scholarship program for their school, and anybody who was a minority or male student could apply. And in their study, there was 51 scholars who entered the program, and they completed college and had great success through their nursing program. And what they did is they really focused on mentorships, so matching them with other male nurses and giving them support. They also mentioned that there were a lot of barriers with the male nursing students in the clinical settings, and that this could be a result of faculty. And so it really brought to the attention that this all starts at the nursing school level and not just at the master's degree, but even in undergraduate school. The last article I would like to discuss is the lived experience of being a male nursing student and implications for student retention and success. So, in the maternity clinical setting specifically, all of these members of this study had determined that they experienced some sort of discrimination throughout their schooling, especially in maternity. And so, even though this one was a smaller study, there was only 11 people that they could get to participate. And so, what they found with these studies, though, is that there was gender bias. These students were being singled out. They were being asked to do, according to the article, manly stuff while in clinical, taking away from their experience. They were limited in the clinical setting, and then they didn't really have any male role models or other male faculty to really look up to and to guide them. And then that they were just experiencing a lot of stereotypes in their program. In conclusion, one of the articles written by Powers, Heron, Sheeler, and Sane, in that last article I just talked about, they had some suggestions, and one of them was, allowing students to speak or be mentored by male nurses, so they have someone to look up to, and then we can provide training and developmental strategies for faculty to help mentor and improve their teaching strategies, so that these students aren't being feel like they're left out or like they're being singled out. So just eliminating some of those things, and then that educational faculty may need to go into the maternal clinical setting and kind of address it with the manager, maybe talk to some of the staff. Just education. Education is key, and we as nurses know that. And then they developed a mentorship program, such as the American Assembly for Men in Nursing, AAMN. That was also by Powers, Heron, Sheeler, and Sane. And this is a nationwide thing. Not all schools implement it, but it's definitely something to look into. gaps in my research. Sometimes there just wasn't very many male participants to actually get research study, and they're working on doing more studies with this. Um, some of the articles, yes, one of them was in Egypt, two of them were in the United States, but I liked the diverse. It would be nice to see a study that did like a broad geographical location, so not just one city, not just one school, but maybe like a whole state or a couple states or regions would be nice. And then, like I said, the participants range anywhere from 11 to 60 male nurses or students. So if we could broaden that range up, we could get more statistics. And then one of my goals to continue research is I kind of want to implement what is my school doing to overcome these gender biases in nursing, and just to include that and to compare to the strategies that the articles have provided. And then these are my references for my articles, and thank you for listening.